It's the most powerful show on television. High drama with intense energy. A show dedicated to a few brave souls who risk their lives for the sake of their craft. Its in-depth reporting goes to the core and unlocks the mysteries behind today's raciest sport. Motorsports. Catch it when you can.
The Speed Station welcomes you to Homestead-MIAMI Speedway for the running of the Dixie Vodka 400. In the race analysis, today's event is the second race of the round of 8 in the playoffs and will take place over 107 laps around this mile-and-a-half speedway. Stage 1 ends on lap 26 and Stage 2 ends on lap 53. Here are your point standings entering today's race, with Kurt Busch on top after winning last week at Martinsville, advancing to the Championship 4 at Atlanta. Kevin Harvick is 20 points above the cut line, with Kyle Busch, Kurt's brother, 12 points above. Kyle Larson, last season's runner-up in points, 1 point above the cut line. Then Denny Hamlin, who leads the series with 4 wins this season, 1 point out of the Championship 4 advancement. Ryan Blaney, the regular season champion, is 7 points out. Brandon Jones, the rookie for IK9, currently sets 13 points out of the advancement to the Championship 4, and defending champion Clint Bowyer is 20 points out of making it to the Championship 4 race at Atlanta. Matt DiBenedetto has won the pole here at Homestead, with the highest qualified playoff contender, reigning champion Clint Bowyer, coming in second. Joey Logano qualifies third, young Harrison Burton in fourth, Kyle Larson in fifth, Kyle Busch sixth, Brad Keselowski seventh, Brandon Jones in eighth, Chase Elliott in ninth, and Eric Jones, last week's runner-up, round out the top 10. Also make note of Corey LaJoie qualifying in 12th spot.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
And there's the green flag at Homestead. As the field heads off into turn 1, you can see playoff contender Denny Hamlin already on the bottom, trying to make up spots 3 wide. That's the opposite of the preferred lane, as momentum can really be built up top. Now Matt DiBenedetto on the back straightaway has cleared Clint Bowyer for the top spot. Logano and Bowyer now battling for second position. There you see Kyle Busch jumping all the way to the top, trying to pass Harrison Burton on the outside, but Burton shuts the door. Still trying to work to the outside of that 5 car, getting a push from his teammate Eric Jones. Looks like Kyle Busch might be able to get up to the quarter panel of that 5 car into turn 1. Now Kyle Busch is going to take up 4th spot on the outside line, getting around Larson as well. And we got a car around. It's Brandon Jones into the wall up in front of the field, as well as Chase Elliott. Kurt Busch, last week's winner, involved in the mess. Caution flag is out already. Ryan Blaney was as well in the incident. In the race back to the flag, it is Matt DiBenedetto, your leader, above Clint Bowyer. Then Kyle Busch in the 18, then Joey Logano and Eric Jones rounding out your top 5. Coming off turn 2, the 81 car Brandon Jones checks up very slightly, and the 2 car Brad Keselowski makes contact with him, sending around on the exit of the corner. Then up in front of the field, the 9 car of Elliott gets spun around. Brandon Jones was able to actually catch it on the backstretch, was able to keep going and race back to the flag in 18th spot. Kurt Busch made heavy contact with the 9 car Chase Elliott. Elliott also got impacted by the 48 car of Jimmy Johnson. His teammate, Martin Truex Jr., was as well involved in the crash, and heavy front-end damage on the 47 car of Stenhouse. And on the front stretch, teammates collide with the 00 car of Suarez, getting into the 99 of Briscoe, spinning him around on the front stretch and into the wall. Under this first caution cycle, we had 1 car stay out, that being the 32 car of Corey LaJoie, so he will now assume the lead in front of Matt DiBenedetto, who got off pit road in first, then Clint Bowyer, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, and Eric Jones. Keep in mind that that 19 car Martin Truex Jr. is at the tail end of the lead lap, but will restart in front of leader LaJoie. Think about how crucial Kurt Busch's win at Martinsville was last week. Advanced to the Championship 4, and in today's race he's going to finish in 39th. That's dead last. So imagine if Eric Jones would have won last week. He was a hard charger late in the going. That would have meant that Kurt Busch's finishes in the round of 8 would have been 2nd and 39th. He would have been in a must-win situation heading into next week at Talladega, and I don't think anyone wants to be in that position. However, it looks like with the amount of damage on the 81 car, Brandon Jones, he will be in a must-win scenario next week. He's still in the race, but he's very far back and will likely be off the pace. Not to mention that Ryan Blaney, who currently resides 7 points out of the championship 4, will restart in 32nd position. He did miss the accident, but he is restarting behind even the 81 car. He checked up so much, most of the field got around him. And for the first time since, I believe, Speed Weeks, there is the green flag with Corey LaJoie out front. Already, though, Matt DiBenedetto jumps to the inside of that 32 car, as well as his pseudo teammate, the 22 car Logano. LaJoie getting slowed up by the lap car of Truex. 2 cars really running away with the lead. They got to make sure that they stay out of each other's fenders on this restart, with that 19 car slowing up the outside line. The 14 car of Boyer still stuck behind the 19, as well as the 18. 2 playoff contenders right there. And already, here is the battle for the lead between the 22 and 21 cars. Side by side, down to the front stretch. It's going to be DiBenedetto to lead that lap. Caution flag is already out. Chase Elliott has gone around once again. And we still have them wrecking on the front stretch with the 33 car of Magnussen sliding, but he manages to catch it. And we are yet again under yellow. But we still have the ongoing race back to the caution between the 21, 22, and 20. Eric Jones yet again showing off late in the season with the 21 car clearing that 22 back to the start-finish line. DiBenedetto is your leader. Above Logano, then Jones, Corey LaJoie, and Brad Keselowski. You know, Chase Elliott won this race last season. Well, he's already wrecked twice in the first race since his win last spring. He gets clipped by the 87 car of Timothy Peters, sent up into the outside wall, spins it around. Not too much damage on the 9 car. A lot of the damage was gotten from Kurt Busch hitting him on the first incident, but still enough to bring out the yellow. Then slowing down under caution. Yet again, Daniel Suarez wrecking a teammate. Puts the 33 car of Magnussen up into the outside wall, then tries to spin him out down the front stretch, but the 33 car catches it. Slides up in front of Bell with not too severe damage on that South Point Chevrolet. And now look at this shakeup off pit road. 2 playoff contenders are now up front, with Clint Boyer, the reigning champion, assuming the lead above Kyle Busch, then Ross Chastain. A surprising 4th place for Jeffrey Earnhardt in the 50, and then Chris Buescher in the 17. DiBenedetto falling all the way out to 6th spot. Green flag. Clint Boyer gets a very good jump on that restart above the 18 car of Kyle Busch. Already about a 2 car length separation between those 2 front runners. As the field heads off into turn 1, still single file, but Denny Hamlin once again on the inside, making up spots, getting around Nemechek and LaJoie on the bottom. There's contact back in the field between the 8 car of Reddick and the 99 of Briscoe, as that 18 car of Kyle Busch has closed right up to the bumper of the 14. Chastain now diving up to the top side, getting momentum around the 18 car of Busch. Getting a push coming from that 50 car of Jeffrey Earnhardt. That's RCR equipment for the 50. Now into turn 1, we got a side-by-side battle for the lead. Chastain going to the inside of Boyer. 3 wide move by DiBenedetto on the inside. We got a car up into the outside wall. That's Nemechek. He corrects it coming off of turn 2. Boyer and Chastain still running side by side. Earnhardt building momentum off the top. Now down to the start-finish line with the 55 car inching ahead. It is going to be Chastain to lead that lap. But a lot of momentum building up on the outside line with that 14 car diving into turn 1 and retaking the lead. Jeffrey Earnhardt's going to follow suit to move up into 2nd. Chris Buescher going for 3rd on the outside. Really freight training that middle line on the top. Clint Boyer slowed up a little bit entering turn number 3, let Earnhardt right back up to him. We got a 4-wide battle for position with Landon Castle on the bottom. He was almost on the apron on the exit of turn 4. Now the 22 car Logano to the inside of Earnhardt. Now Harrison Burton getting up into this mix. Looks like Logano is going to clear Earnhardt for 2nd spot. Burton's going to take up 3rd position. Clint Boyer still your leader. But now Logano moves Boyer off the middle line. Logano's got momentum with a push coming from the 5 to take the lead down the front stretch. The 5 car of Harrison Burton, though, takes a look to the inside into turn 1. Larson through the middle. Really making it work in the middle lane. He inches ahead to take the lead as they exit turn 2. I tell you what, Larson might be the favorite as you saw car into the wall. That's the 77 of Quinn Half. Nemechek into the wall. Ryan Blaney has crashed, as well as Brandon Jones. Blaney goes upside down. The regular season champion's out of it. In the race back to the flag, it was the 57 car of Larson, your leader. The 22 of Logano in second. Then Harrison Burton. Landon Castle managed to get his way up into fourth in the 89, still outperforming his equipment. And the 14 car of Clint Boyer in fifth. Once again, on the exit of turn 2, the 8 car of Tyler Reddick makes contact with John Hunter Nemechek in the 38 car, spins Nemechek down into the 77. 77 car hits the outside wall very hard. Then Timothy Peters makes contact with the 38. He gets sent back up into the 12. Darrell Wallace makes contact with the 12 car, and then Brandon Jones collides head-on with the 12. That knocks 2 playoff contenders out of this race right there. And then Chase Briscoe makes heavy contact with the right side of the 12, flipping that 12 car Blaney upside down, entering turn 3. And now finally Chase Elliott as well is out of the race after his 3rd crash. Almost a day similar to Ken Alexander. First car out of the pits looks like it's going to be the 57 car of Kyle Larson with a huge gap above second. Then Denny Hamlin getting out in front of DiBenedetto. Then Kevin Harvick, Daniel Suarez, and Ryan Newman. And I was wrong about the 81 car Brandon Jones. Look at this effort by that team. There is hardly a single piece of sheet metal left on that 81 car, but they still have that car running after 2 hard crashes, trying to make up for every single point they can get and hoping for more incidents, yet they are hoping to stay out of them this time. Green flag, just 5 laps to go in stage 1. Kevin Harvick already trying to make a look to the inside of that 21 of DiBenedetto into turn 1. Kyle Larson getting a bit of an advantage as they exit turn 2 now, with Hamlin slowing up the line. Still single file between the top 15 or so runners. Now this is where the field likes to fan out. In the entry to turn 3, Hamlin's still going a lot slower than 3rd place runner, but look at Suarez up to the top into the wall now. Loses about 5 spots performing that move, with the 21 car now battling the 11 for second. Harvick trying to make it 3 wide on the bottom. Looks like DiBenedetto's going to take the spot through the middle. Kyle Larson still pulling in front of the field. Denny Hamlin makes contact with the 4 car of Harvick. What a save for the 4. Cuts right up in front of Ryan Newman, still going. Slow on the entry to the corner, most likely picked up dirt from running so far onto the apron. Look at that 20 car going 4 wide on the bottom. Still Kyle Larson, your leader. Joey Logano forcibly moved Denny Hamlin out of the way, now challenging Larson for the top spot. And Landon Castle has raced his way up into 3rd. Denny Hamlin really far off the pace now, dropping outside of the top 10. Now Larson and Logano run side by side for position. Logano's going to take it into turn 3. Landon Castle looks like he's going to take up second as they exit 4. 2 to go in stage 1 at the stripe. Now Chris Buescher on the bottom of the 57. Looks like he's going to take up 3rd. Harrison Burton on the inside now of Larson, trying to make up another spot. Christopher Bell gets turned around by Corey LaJoie. And now we are under yellow. Joey Logano is going to lead the field back to the start-finish line and win a dramatic Stage 1 at Homestead. Second will be taken in an almost too close to call battle. It is scored as Chris Buescher taking the spot above then Landon Castle, Harrison Burton, and your highest finishing playoff contender, Clint Boyer, in 5th. Christopher Bell gets slowed up by Ryan Newman as they exit turn 2. The 32 car of LaJoie makes contact with the quarter panel as they exit the corner. Spins the 95 car of Bell around down the backstretch and onto the apron. Manages not to hit anything, but it does bring out the stage-ending yellow. NASCAR on Speed Station is being brought to you by Built by Me Chassis and Engine Parts, by Smeat Heat, the real canned meat paste, and by Start and Park, the official motel brand of NASCAR. And your first car off of pit road is Landon Castle in the 89, getting out in first above Stage 1 winner Joey Logano, then Chris Buescher, Harrison Burton, and Clint Boyer. And do you believe that the 81 car of Brandon Jones on those final couple restarts to decide the first stage was able to actually race his way up to the 17th position to finish the stage with that much damage on the 81? That team has not given up. And there's the green flag for Stage 2. Landon Castle leading the field on the restart. Down to turn 1, you already see the 00 car of Suarez trying to make up spots on the inside of Reddick. Once again, mostly single file among the top 15 heading down the back straightaway. Down to turn 3, expect the field to fan out with that 22 car right on the bumper, the 89. Logano goes to the bottom, Harrison Burton going all the way up to the top. At the start-finish line, let's see who it's going to be to lead the lap. It was Joey Logano leading at the start-finish line. Through 1 and 2, it looks like the 22 car is going to try and clear the 89. Can't quite do it. Castle really building momentum off the top. Still side by side into turn 3. Harrison Burton now moved his way up into third spot. Now Kyle Larson back up into the mix, running the high side. His classic line. Still side by side down to the start-finish line. This time it's going to be Landon Castle to lead the lap. Harrison Burton going 3 wide on the bottom. Logano making it work through the middle. But still side by side with Castle. Jeffrey Earnhardt now back up into the top 5. Castle getting a push from Kyle Larson down the backstretch. Into turn 3, that 22 car really tried to dive it in. Larson all the way up to the top side. Gets just barely cleared by the 89 car of Landon Castle. Now 3 wide down to the start-finish line. Logano led at the stripe. The 5 car of Harrison Burton still trying to make the bottom work. As that 22 car really dove it into turn number 1 and clears the field. Oh, car in the wall. That's the 24 of William Byron. Kevin Harvick has massive front end damage. And guess who drove through it? The 81 of Brandon Jones. That could be crucial for his championship 4 hopes, as that 4 car's got very heavy front end damage, but Jones has crashed. Trying to race back to the start-finish line, that 81 car could not make it. In the race back to the flag, it was Joey Logano above Landon Castle, then Harrison Burton, Kyle Larson, and Clint Boyer. Even more playoff cars taken out in yet another incident, but this time it is Mr. Consistency himself wrecking out of the race, that being Kevin Harvick. Once again, Reddick involved in another incident, but it was Kevin Harvick who started it. Harvick makes contact with the 8 cars. They exit the turn number 2, makes contact with the 24 of Byron, spins him around. Harvick plows into the 24. Then more cars continue to pile in, including the 21, 95. Then LaJoie goes up and makes contact with the 24. Magnussen makes contact with the 81, and then the 24 car. Cole Custer got minimal damage. But then Ryan Newman, running through the grass into turn 3, makes contact with Austin Dillon. By sliding up in front of that 3 car, Dillon spins out, Newman up into the outside wall, and then here comes the 81 car of Brandon Jones, slamming hard into the 3. Also making contact with the 32, so that is what sent Brandon Jones out of today's race. And your first car off pit road is Kyle Busch, getting out in front of then Landon Castle, then Larson, Daniel Suarez, and Clint Boyer. So half of the playoff field entering today's race has crashed out. Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Clint Boyer, and Denny Hamlin are the remaining 4 playoff contenders still on track. Now, Larson and Kyle Busch both entered today's race above the cut line, so they're going to make up an awful lot of points on the rest of the contenders. However, Boyer and Hamlin entered today's race far below it, so they're going to make up a lot of ground at the end of today's race here at Homestead. Green flag. Kyle Busch gets a pretty good jump above that 89 car of Landon Castle as the field heads into turn number 1. Larson right on the bumper, the 89. Now Kyle Busch really running away with the lead as the 89 car got loose entering turn 1. Larson surely going to push that 89 car down the back straightaway. As you saw back in the field, Ryan Newman almost spun a car around. Now here comes Kyle Larson to the inside of the 89. Daniel Suarez trying to make it 3 wide on the bottom. Clint Boyer trying to make the top side work, on the side with Landon Castle. Into turn 1. Daniel Suarez backs out. They have now caught up to the 18 car of Kyle Busch. Busch goes up to block the 89. Getting a draft into turn number 3. The 89 car tries taking a look to the outside, but it gets loose as they exit turn 4. Back down to 2 wide between Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson for the lead. Larson led at the start-finish line. Daniel Suarez now trying to take up second on that 18 car as Kyle Larson is going to clear Kyle Busch as they exit turn 2. Oh, but not quite, as there was contact made back there between the 17 and 10 of Almirola and Chris Buescher, as now the 57 has finally cleared the 18. 00 car of Daniel Suarez already has a 1.5 mile win earlier this year, came much earlier in the season back at Las Vegas. Now pushing that 18 car of Kyle Busch into turn 3. Trying to force a mistake out of that 18 to try to take up second. There it is. Now side by side as they exit turn 4. A 00 car already inching ahead down the front stretch. Clearly holding second spot as the field enters turn 1. But that 18 car really building momentum on the top side. Looks like Kyle Busch is going to re-clear that 00 car to take up second. Clint Boyer now running in 4th. Landon Castle has dropped down to 5th with Eric Jones, last week's runner-up, running right behind him. Now a 3 wide move by Harrison Burton on the bottom. Burton now trying to get side by side with that 89 for a battle for 5th spot. And your top 4 has 3 playoff contenders in it. Remember, there's only 4 playoff contenders left in today's race. Denny Hamlin still pretty far off the pace, running in 10th spot on the outside. Kyle Busch really building momentum on the top. That 57 car of Larson got a little bit loose entering turn 3. Gave Kyle Busch a lot of room to build momentum. Busch will lead at the start-finish line. Now Larson really tried to dive it into turn 1, but it looks like he is going to be freight trained on the outside line, with now Daniel Suarez taking up second. And this race is just about the best preview you could get of Atlanta Motor Speedway, the championship race coming up in a few weeks. That place has been completely reconfigured. It is now a progressively banked speedway. Expect runs being built off the top, just like what you are seeing here at Homestead. Although the surface is brand new there, so there's going to be a whole lot more on-throttle time at Atlanta. Now with Harrison Burton on the inside of 57. Daniel Suarez got out of the throttle, now going for second. Harrison Burton still working on that 00 car of Suarez for second spot. Burton and Kyle Busch already have a history with each other. Remember last week at Martinsville, when Burton brake-checked the 18 car under caution, with Larson getting up into the outside wall. Larson drops back, now outside the top 5, with the 5 car of Burton to the inside of the 18. Burton is going to take the lead as they exit turn 2. Clears the 18 car of Busch as they exit the corner. Now that 18 car once again trying to build a run on the top side with momentum from the 00. Suarez trying to find grip up top, with Chris Buescher now battling the 18 car for second. Harrison Burton, already a stage winner at NASCAR's top level. Remember, he won a stage in the Coca-Cola 600 earlier this season. Now, Kyle Busch has now taken up second, getting around the 17 car of Chris Buescher. Looks like the 00 car of Suarez is going to follow him up into third. The fastest lap of today's race so far has been set by Chris Buescher in that 17 with a 33.024. So keep your eyes on that Roush Fenway Ford, currently the fastest car on the track. As now the 00 car of Suarez back to the inside of the 18 into 1. But Kyle Busch was able to hold the momentum off the top with now Joey Logano taking up third on the high side. Now Logano moves up to the top of the track, entering turn 3. Now as they exit 4, he's got momentum. And Logano's going to take up second off of Kyle Busch. And this is very different from what we had just 10 laps ago. Now your top 5 only has one playoff contender in it, that being Kyle Busch setting in third, with a part-time rookie leading the field at Homestead. Joey Logano, the 2018 Series champion, won that title at this very racetrack, trying to run him down in second spot. Up in front of Harrison Burton, you now start to see lap traffic, including Corey LaJoie and Jan Magnussen. But we might be able to get to the end of the second stage before Burton can get to those lap cars. You gotta believe that Harrison Burton is driving with sheer determination right now after the confrontation with Kyle Busch last week. Now leading the field at Homestead, could possibly keep Kyle Busch out of advancing to the Championship 4. Because imagine if Kyle Busch does not win here, he will not have an automatic lock at Talladega. If he wrecks out there, or maybe doesn't even qualify like Harvick did earlier this season, he could be out that quick. Now less than 2 laps to go in Stage 2. The gap from first to second, from Burton to Logano, is just about half a second. At this rate, Logano's not going to be able to catch the 5. Daniel Suarez now side drafting the 18 car of Kyle Busch down the back straight. Trying to make it work into turn 3. He's got help coming from the 17 car of Buescher. That 18 car pushes on the exit of the corner. That 00 car of Daniel Suarez is going to take up second, but now we have a battle for the lead in the last lap of Stage 2. Logano was able to cut that lead down to half of what it was 1 lap ago. Right to the back bumper of Burton down the back straightaway. Now as the field heads off into turn 3, he's got to find an open line. And that 22 car's engine has blown up. Logano blows the engine in the final 2 corners. Harrison Burton is going to win stage number 2 at Homestead. Second place was taken by Daniel Suarez, then third, Chris Buescher, fourth, Kyle Busch, and fifth by Kyle Larson. And what a devastating blow for the 22 car of Logano, having one of his best runs since Nashville earlier this season, which he went to victory lane, out of the race with a blown engine. And just look at how close Logano came to a last lap clutch stage victory. Entering turn 3 when he lets off the throttle, the engine lets go. Already knows that there's a problem, brings it onto pit road, and takes it straight behind the wall. NASCAR on Speed Station is being brought to you by Built by Me Chassis and Engine Parts, by Smeat Heat, the real canned meat paste, and by Start & Park, the official motel brand of NASCAR. And the first car off pit road is going to be Harrison Burton getting out in front of Daniel Suarez, then Chris Buescher. It looks like Denny Hamlin is going to edge out his teammate Kyle Busch for position. And look at how many spots the 57 car of Kyle Larson has lost off pit road. He has lost about 15 positions with a very slow pit stop. But now Denny Hamlin is finally in the mix up front. He's going to restart in 4th position, currently the highest running playoff contender. And there's the green flag for the final stage. Daniel Suarez gets a very good jump on the 5 car of Harrison Burton. Right up to the bumper as the field heads into turn 1. 17 car of Buescher backing off slightly. Bit of a separation is now formed between 2nd and 3rd place runners Suarez and Buescher. As Suarez is right now right on the back bumper of the 5 as now they enter turn 3. Here comes Buescher and Kyle Busch jumping up to the top side. Denny Hamlin looks like he's going to be freight trained on the outside line by the 17 and 18 cars. And And now look at Jeffrey Earnhardt trying to make up spots 3 wide on the bottom. Trying to get around the 55 and 14 as Daniel Suarez still remains in second spot with the 17 car of Buescher challenging him for the position. The 5 car of Harrison Burton really starting to get an advantage over the field now with almost a half a second separation above second place runner Suarez. Now up on the top side, here comes the 17 car of Buescher, the fastest car of the race. He is now going to take up second as the field heads to turn 1. But still running side by side with Daniel Suarez as they exit turn number 2. Hamlin now trying to give the 00 car of Suarez a push, now trying to make it 3 wide into turn 3. Chris Buescher still trying to make the top side work. Clint Bowyer going 4 wide on the bottom. Now back down to 3 wide for position with a 2 wide battle for second. The 17 and 00 cars still run side by side. Suarez dives into turn 1. Looks like he's going to finally clear the field for the position. Denny Hamlin now trying to take up third through the middle. Jeffrey Earnhardt now trying to get around the 14 car of Clint Bowyer into 3. And now here comes Daniel Suarez and Denny Hamlin starting to build a run on the 5 car of Burton. Burton really got a good entry into turn number 1. Now Denny Hamlin battles with the 00 cars side by side for second. Clint Bowyer making up spots with a 3 wide move on the bottom. Got around the 18 car of Kyle Busch. Suarez and Hamlin still side by side for second. As they exit the final corner, Harrison Burton really taking advantage of the intense battle for second. The gap he has over the field is now a little bit over 4 tenths above the second place runner Suarez. Now there's 3 playoff cars lined up on the inside line. Those being Hamlin, Bowyer, and Kyle Busch. But here comes Kyle Busch to the inside of Clint Bowyer, trying to make it 3 wide for position. Bowyer giving Hamlin a bit of a push. That's going to move the 11 car up into second. Denny Hamlin holds second spot as they exit turn number 2. A little bit of contact right there between the 14 and 11, but they manage to keep it together as they exit turn 2. Now Bowyer almost onto the apron trying to make the move, stick into 3. Chris Buescher went so high up the racetrack that he just got up into the outside wall. As we still got the ongoing battle for second, it looks like Denny Hamlin's going to take up the spot. Now starting to run down the 5 car of Burton. Now Landon Castle going 3 wide on the bottom of the 88. And I believe that's the 17 car of Buescher. Now Clint Bowyer lunging ahead of the 11 car of Hamlin into turn 3. Clint Bowyer is now going to take up second. Harrison Burton got out of the throttle into turn 3. It looks like Clint Bowyer is going to be side by side with him, but the 5 cleared him on the exit of turn 4. And due to that poor pit stop, the 57 car of Larson has completely dropped out of this lead pack. He currently runs in 17th position, about 5 seconds behind the leaders. Now we have a battle for the lead between Bowyer and Burton. Side by side through turns 3 and 4. Jeffrey Earnhardt just got up into the outside wall. Clint Bowyer edging ahead of Burton on the front stretch. Bowyer leads at the start-finish line. Burton trying to make it stick on the top. And yet again, he is going to clear Clint Bowyer on the exit of turn 2. Denny Hamlin now currently runs in 3rd spot. Alex Bowman in the 88 now battling the 18 side by side for position. Bowman getting right up to the bumper of Denny Hamlin, trying to shove him down the front stretch. That moves the 88 car of Bowman in front of the 18 car of Kyle Busch. But Busch really made it stick on the inside line. We got a car stopped on the apron. That will bring out yet another caution. I believe that might have been Jan Magnussen, as now here comes Clint Bowyer jumping up to the top in the race back to the start-finish line. Bowyer's going to make it work. Clint Bowyer takes the lead in the race back to the caution. Bowyer is your leader above Harrison Burton. Then Kyle Busch in 3rd, Denny Hamlin in 4th, and Alex Bowman raced back to the start-finish line in 5th. The 33 car of Jan Magnussen blew the engine and stalled on the exit of turn number 2 in the grass. And this has brought out our most recent caution flag. And this move by Bowyer is exactly what Joey Logano certainly had planned before his engine blew entering turn 3. Try to jump as high up the racetrack as he possibly could, build the momentum on the 5 car of Burton, and beat him back down to the start-finish line before the caution fell. And Bowyer just barely edges out that 5 car of Harrison Burton back to the start-finish line. And yet again, we have had one car stay out. It is last week's pole sitter and runner-up. Eric Jones in the 20 has taken the gamble of staying out and will now assume the lead in the 20 car. Your first car off of pit road is Clint Bowyer, getting out in front of the 18 car of Kyle Busch, then the 11 of Denny Hamlin, the 5 of Harrison Burton, and the 00 of Daniel Suarez. And how about this race for Levine Family Racing? They won Stage 2 with Harrison Burton, still running in the top 5. Then their other car, the 95 of Christopher Bell, they won earlier this year at Talladega, currently runs in 13th spot, so a pretty consistent day out of those 2 cars. Odds are Harrison Burton will have the most likely chances of taking home the victory here at Homestead as we approach what could be the final stint, although you can't count out even more yellows. Green flag. Eric Jones has 3 playoff contenders right behind him. Bowyer, Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin all breathing down his neck. Clint Bowyer gets right up to the back bumper of the 20 as they exit turn 2. Right here is when you got to try to make your move. Kyle Busch jumping up to the high side. The 14 car goes to the bottom. And Clint Bowyer is now taking the lead with Kyle Busch going up to the top to split the 20 car of Jones. Clint Bowyer leads at the start-finish line with Kyle Busch taking up second, Harrison Burton in third. Now we got a side-by-side battle for the lead with Busch making the top side work. Now 3 wide with Harrison Burton on the bottom. Denny Hamlin just a little bit too far separated from the bumper of the 18 to give him any help down the backstretch. Now through 3 and 4, it's going to be the 5 car of Burton again clearing the field. An extremely strong LFR Toyota. Now Alex Bowman in the 88 car battles with Kyle Busch for second. Bowman has to settle for third spot down the back straightaway with the 14 car of Bowyer now challenging him for the position. Oh, Jeffrey Earnhardt just got up into the outside wall in between 3 and 4. Just tried to push the car a little bit too hard. Now Clint Bowyer has cleared the 88 car of Alex Bowman for third spot, but now Bowman with another run to the inside. Still trying to make the pass work on the inside line. Denny Hamlin shoving that 14 car into turn 3. Still Bowman making it work with no drafting help on the bottom. But it's going to be Clint Bowyer taking up third at the start-finish line. The 18 car of Kyle Busch now starting to make up ground on the 5 car of Burton. Oh, Denny Hamlin really sent it into turn number 3, up into the outside wall. Almost contact was made right there between the 10 and 11 cars of Almirola and Hamlin as Clint Bowyer has cleared that 11 car for third spot. Alex Bowman now trying to make it work on the bottom to take up fourth. But it looks like he's going to be freight trained on the outside line by Hamlin and Almirola. Denny Hamlin still trying to figure out a way past that 14 car of Bowyer. Bowyer threw a very aggressive block on the 11 car as they exited turn 4. Those two still battling for third spot with the 18 car of Kyle Busch now starting to lose ground on the 5 of Burton. The gap from first to second has been extended out to 6/10. And look at who is pushing that 11 car of Hamlin into turn 3. That's Jeffrey Earnhardt in the 50. Constant hits to the outside wall have not slowed that RCR affiliated car down. And finally, the 11 car of Hamlin has cleared the 14 off the top. Hamlin's going to take up third, now dives it into turn 1 to pass his teammate. That's going to move Hamlin all the way up into second. Bowyer falling quite a few spots through the middle line, now being passed by Jeffrey Earnhardt on the outside line. And now Denny Hamlin has taken up second. Kyle Busch, though, still trying to fight for the spot. Remember, these two are battling for a championship advancement, while Harrison Burton is practically out here in an audition for next year. Now we have a battle for position between the 17 of Buescher and the 50 of Jeffrey Earnhardt. These two currently going after fourth spot, with that 18 and 11 cars still side by side for second. The gap from first to second is now 7/10 between Hamlin and Burton. But it looks like off of 2, Hamlin has finally cleared that 18 car of Kyle Busch, as now the 17 car of Chris Buescher is battling the 18 for position. Buescher's going to make the momentum work with a push coming from Bowman. On the top side, the 17 car is going to take up third. The fastest lap has now been set by Clint Bowyer with a 32.971, although he is consistently dropping back. Quite possibly could have burned up the tires on the 14 as now Chris Buescher, second fastest car in the race, battles with the 11 car of Hamlin for second. But it looks like Bowman's going to side with Hamlin, now pushing that 11 car into turn 1. But Buescher making it work on the bottom with no drafting help. Chris Buescher has now taken up second at Homestead. Probably the best run for him all season since at least Nashville much earlier in the year. Now here comes Bowman way up top, trying to make the momentum work on the 11 car of Hamlin. And Alex Bowman is going to take up third, now with a big run to the outside of 17, trying to take second. And Alex Bowman, the winner at Fontana earlier this season, has now taken up second spot. Kyle Busch trying to make the momentum work as well. Tried to get to the outside of the 17, but got blocked on the exit of turn 2. Now Bowman really making a run on that 5 car of Burton. Gap down to just 4/10. And look at who has started to race his way back up towards the front. That's the 57 car of Kyle Larson, currently battling with the 34 of Michael McDowell and the 14 of Clint Bowyer for a top 10 spot. As now we have yet again another battle for second spot between the 17 and 88. 88 car of Bowman's going to have it for the moment, with the 50 car of Jeffrey Earnhardt trying to take fourth off of Kyle Busch. But Busch is going to clear him as they exit turn number 2. Eric Almirola now battling with the 11 car of Hamlin. Now just 20 laps to go here at Homestead. The 5 car of Harrison Burton still dominating this race. But he has proven Cup Series winners Alex Bowman and Chris Buescher right behind him. And here comes Buescher to the outside of the 88, trying to make the top side work in the battle for second. But Bowman will clear him as they exit 4. Still the ongoing battle for fourth spot between the 50 and 18 cars continues, as into turn 1 it looks like Kyle Busch is going to take the spot with a push coming from Denny Hamlin. Kind of hard to believe that while going for championship 4 points, these teammates would still be willing to work together. Now Harrison Burton has ran up to lap traffic. He's got LaJoie, Johnson, and Truex up in front of him. He gets slightly blocked by the 34 car of Corey LaJoie as they exit turn 2. That's going to bring the 88 car of Bowman right up to him. Bowman trying to work the high line, but LaJoie is going to be in the way. Now cuts down to the inside line right behind the 5 car. Burton's got to try to make a move to the inside of Johnson, as now he's brought the entire field up to his back bumper. Bowman within just a couple tenths of that 5 car. They make contact. Harrison Burton spins Jimmy Johnson hard into the inside wall. Caution flag is out. Alex Bowman shoots through the middle to take the lead. Racing back to the start-finish line, though, they're going to try and make it 3 wide. In the race back to the flag, it is going to be Bowman to be pushed by the 17 car of Buescher, past the 5 car of Bowman, and back out front. So now Alex Bowman is your leader at Homestead, above Harrison Burton, Chris Buescher, Kyle Busch, and Jeffrey Earnhardt. Now I would imagine that's not going to be a very popular move of Harrison Burton spinning Jimmy Johnson out of his third-to-last career race. Burton gets fed up with lap traffic, makes contact with the 48 car of Jimmy Johnson, spinning him down the back straightaway and relatively hard into the inside retaining wall, knocking the 48 car out of the race, although he already had severe damage from a previous crash. But this allowed the 88 car of Bowman to shoot right past on the outside line and take the lead back to the stripe. And here is on board with Jimmy Johnson. Practically straight into the inside safer barrier. And that pit stop was crucial for the 88 car of Bowman, still retaining the lead above the 5 car of Burton, then Chris Buescher, Kyle Busch, and Jeffrey Earnhardt is your top 5 coming off of pit road. So Alex Bowman is clearly going to restart as the leader, but look at who's right up in front of him. That is the lap car of Eric Jones, who had to pit under green and fell 1 lap down before the caution was brought out by Burton. So that is definitely going to have to be the first car that Bowman has to get past on this restart, because otherwise there's going to be a huge mess up front. And there's the green flag with just 12 laps to go here at Homestead. Bowman gets a very good jump on the restart. But still, he's going to be blocked by the lap car of Eric Jones entering turn 1. 5 car of Harrison Burton is going to try to make a move as early as possible, as he has already closed up right to the back bumper of the 88. Practically bump drafting into turn 3. But here comes Chris Buescher on the outside line, trying to make it work past the 5 car of Harrison Burton, as we now have a side-by-side battle for the lead. Burton leads at the start-finish line. Chris Buescher right on his back bumper in the lap car of Jones, still up in front of him. Jones just pinched down race leader Harrison Burton. That let the 88 car of Bowman right back up to his outside. Bowman's got the advantage entering turn 3. Burton really tried to dive it in, but now a 3-wide move by Buescher. 3 wide racing for the lead here at Homestead. Alex Bowman is going to lead the field at the start-finish line, and these 3 battling for the top spot has brought Kyle Busch back into the mix. The 17 car has a flat tire. Chris Buescher is out of the battle for the win. And Buescher has stalled it on the exit of turn 2. That's going to lead to yet another caution. And this is your race back to the start-finish line. Harrison Burton tries to make a look to the inside, but it's going to be Alex Bowman leading the field back to the caution above the 5 car of Harrison Burton. Then Kyle Busch, Jeffrey Earnhardt, and Eric Almirola. While battling for the lead, the 17 car of Chris Buescher enters turn 1 with a flat tire. Does the same thing Magnussen does, gets stuck in the grass. And that is why we are yet again under caution and set up with a very late race restart. Green flag, just 5 laps to go here at Homestead. The 88 car of Bowman gets a perfectly timed jump above the 5 car of Harrison Burton. 18 car of Kyle Busch right up to the bumper of the 5. Burton really making it work as they exit turn 2 now, as the 50 car of Jeffrey Earnhardt really slowing up the field. And now it is really Bowman versus Burton, as Burton tries to jump up to the outside line, trying to build momentum on that 88 car of Bowman. Now jumps to the inside. Gonna try to make it work on the inside line. Alex Bowman trying to pinch him down. Bowman's got the preferred outside line as they run down the back straightaway. Kyle Busch still within striking distance. And Alex Bowman really pulling away from that 5 car, as now Harrison Burton brings it onto pit road. They could not make it to the finish with the amount of fuel that they had. Devastating for the 5 car. Now Kyle Busch, currently running in second, behind Alex Bowman, hoping to advance to the championship 4 through this race at Homestead, rather than having to survive through Talladega. And there was just about a spin for around 30th spot between the 24 and 17 cars of Buescher and Byron. Now just 2 laps to go for Alex Bowman. Kyle Busch within 3/10. And not to mention Ross Chastain in that 55 car running in 3rd. He's about 1 second behind the race leader, as there you see Harrison Burton bringing the 5 car off of pit road. right up in front of the leaders as Denny Hamlin just about spun Clint Boyer on the backstretch. Those two battling for valuable playoff points. And now Alex Bowman is going to see the white flag at Homestead. Harrison Burton right up in front of him, trying to remain on the lead lap. Off of turn 2, Alex Bowman got a very clean exit, as now the 55 car of Chastain starting to battle with that 18 car of Kyle Busch for second. But it's going to be clear sailing for Alex Bowman. Off of turn 4, Alex Bowman is going to win his third career race and second of the season at Homestead. Another playoff spoiler. Not a different winner, so we're still at 22 winners of this season, but that has ruined Kyle Busch and his hopes of advancing to the Championship 4 with an automatic ticket from winning here at Homestead. He's going to have to survive Talladega one way or another. And Harrison Burton, with poor pit strategy, completely gave up the victory in the last 5 laps. He ended up bringing the 5 car home in 20th spot, 1 lap down. But Alex Bowman has won here at Homestead-Miami Speedway above Kyle Busch in second, Ross Chastain third, Eric Almirola in fourth, Brad Keselowski in fifth, Landon Castle in sixth with another good finish in the 89, Jeffrey Earnhardt with a great finish as well in seventh, Daniel Suarez in eighth spot, pole sitter Matt DiBenedetto brought it home in ninth, and Kyle Larson in 10th. And now take a look at your regular point standings. Kyle Busch has now assumed the point lead by 18 points above Kevin Harvick by moving up 2 spots after today's race here at Homestead. Kyle Larson moves all the way up to third. Denny Hamlin also moves up to fourth. Kurt Busch, with his last place finish, falls down to fifth. Clint Boyer moves up to sixth. Ryan Blaney drops down to seventh. Brandon Jones drops to eighth. Alex Bowman stays in ninth. And Matt DiBenedetto stays in 10th. And now, more importantly, your playoff standings entering the final race of the round of 8. Kurt Busch is obviously locked in to the Championship 4 no matter what after his win at Martinsville. Kyle Busch, finishing runner-up here at Homestead, is 22 points above the cut line. Kevin Harvick, last season's regular season champion, is 4 points above the cut line. Kyle Larson is 3 points above. Denny Hamlin is 3 points out. Reigning champion Clint Boyer is 23 points out. Ryan Blaney is 29 points out, and Brandon Jones, being 33 points out, is most likely in a must-win situation next week. And the next race is the unpredictable at its finest. The Yellowwood 500 from Talladega Superspeedway, the round of 8 elimination race to set the championship field at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And you can catch it all right here on the Speed Station.